So Regen, we're a business that we've been going for about 10 years, and our purpose is to enable rivers to sparkle and farmers to stand tall. So there's two really important parts to that, and the first is water quality is an issue in New Zealand that we want to improve it, and agricultural practice and managing that better is a part of it. But as an outcome from that, we really want our farmers to be able to stand tall and be proud of the work that they're doing growing food for New Zealand and the rest of the world. We do this by giving farmers tools in their hand that enable them to know what's happening on their farm, and then to give them daily decision support around what they should do with effluent irrigation and water irrigation. Then record those actions so that they can show that they're being compliant and actually gradually over time improve their practice. So what you see there is an effluent storage pond. Now, this is a photo that's taken in the autumn, and that very large pond that cost several $100,000 to construct is pretty much full. And that's a problem, because in the autumn, effluent ponds should actually be largely empty, because you need the storage over winter and into the spring, which is when all the rain comes. So how do you enable farmers to make sure they've got their ponds empty at the right time, so they've actually got that storage available, so that they don't end up in that crisis situation of irrigating effluent onto wet pastures, which is when it then leaches into waterways or runs off into rivers. So one of the things that we've done is said, it's actually some pretty simple information. One is actually knowing how much effluent you've got in that pond. I don't know, from that picture, can you see, is it half empty, 3/4 full? You know, it's really difficult to judge. And then how do you know the days that you can actually put the effluent out safely, and it's going to be, all those nutrients are going to be used by the grass to grow and avoid risking irrigation. So what we've done is as I said, we provide farmers with these daily recommendations on the days they can irrigate the effluent or the days they should put it into storage. But we realised we needed to go a step further. So we've developed this dashboard. So if you've got 2 or 3 farms that you're own or overseeing, you actually need to just quickly know who's got everything managed well and where are my problems. So a really simple dashboard, just bringing together this information we're collecting. And on the left, it's just the status of how full the pond is. Red means that that pond level is too high for that time of year. And then on the right-hand side, the GMP status, good management practice. So how many times has the irrigation been done when the time was good for effluent application, and how many times have they perhaps irrigated when they shouldn't? So straight away you can see, is this farm well managed? Is it where it needs to be? Or is this a farm I need to actually be ringing out and saying, what's going on? What's your plan for getting that effluent storage level down? So, and then calculating something like the pumping hours to target. So if your pond's full, or it's fuller than it needs to be, actually how many hours are you going to have to invest over the next month or so to get it back down to the target? So putting really good, simple management information right in the hands of the farmers, the people whose job it is to be making sure that those farms are compliant 365 days a year. And from a sustainability perspective, what's sitting there in that pond is thousands of dollars of fertiliser that they've already paid for, like they've paid to grow the grass, the cows have ate it and they've made the dung, and that has now been stored in the pond. So there's a real financial benefit for a farmer to get that effluent applied to land at a time the grass can use it to grow. They've saved money, they've kept the waterways clean, and they can stand up and say, we're compliant 365 days of the year. So that's Regen.